I would like to welcome you to our first session relating to the things that we have learned after going through a semester using Canvas. What we're going to look at are various items that have created confusion, misunderstandings, various things that are different from our experiences in Blackboard. Now, all of the material that I will cover today is available on a Canvas course. You can access this Canvas course from your login of Canvas by going to Courses, selecting the option at the bottom that says All Courses. You have a listing of all your courses. In the upper right corner, you will see the option that says Browse More Courses. If you click that, you will see a list, and this will continue to change as we add more resources. This one will be Changing Semesters in Canvas. The Changing Semesters in Canvas will be made up of 3 parts. It is discussing various things relating to what we've learned the first term, which is what we're focusing on here, but also finishing a semester and starting a semester. Also at this time, we have several other Canvas courses that provide documentation to you as an instructor. The Canvas 101, Learning to Teach in Canvas, and Enhancing a Course are 3 examples of resources that we make available through Canvas to help you do a better job as you use Canvas. Let's go back to looking at the various activities. I will pick one of my classes to walk you through as an example. Here I'm going into a course. One of the things that we learned is that we have situations where people forget to publish their course. Now, they go into their course and they do all their different things, but they forget to publish the course. When you look at your courses, when you go into your various courses, you have the pieces of information that are available. You can get to them different directions through all courses, different ways there. I can click on my course list. I have those on the dashboard. When I first go into the course, for example, I will come down and pick this one. In the upper right corner, this is a class that is currently unpublished. Understand, if you do not publish the course, it is not available to the students. Not only is it not available to the students, it is not visible on their dashboard. It's like they are not enrolled in the course. So until you publish the course, there is no way a student can identify within Canvas that they are part of the course. To do the publishing, you just simply click on Publish, and that will take care of it. It becomes green. As I will say in several places as we go through here, choosing the option to make it green is very good. If it's not green, then there potentially could be an issue. The other thing that I want to emphasize here on this page is the option for student view. You are strongly encouraged as you work through your course to take advantage of the student view and be able to see exactly what students see. You have the ability to complete assignments. You have the ability to complete a test. You have all the capabilities that a student has being a faculty from this perspective of being a student. Also, within the grade book, you now have a new member in your class. It is called the test student. The test student provides you options to go through and enter grades and do various other things that will help you work within the class. We will address that within another course of study. The most challenging thing that we've learned this semester working with students and faculty are the items that are confused because of the fact of having where I get in, things of that type. What's the date factors? If you go to Settings, you will see within the Settings page the option of when does a term start, when does a term end. These are the doorways that allow people to get into the course. If you look at this set of dates, our spring semester will start January the 7th at 12 a.m. This is the date that the course becomes available, regardless of whether it's published or not. You can publish it which means it's available for a student to know that they're in the course, but they actually cannot enter the course until this point in time. Same way on the other end. This course will end on May 23rd. You have the option to adjust these dates. You can go in and modify the date by choosing the calendar, selecting the date that might be more appropriate. But these dates are the most confusing piece that we've experienced because people are not sure what's going on when. So again, from the land of Blackboard, the courses were open from the beginning and then stayed open indefinitely. There were not factors relating to dates. So please be aware, check your course starting date and your course end date. We have made the decision to extend the end date on courses for terms by 21 days. As in, if you notice here, again, May 23rd is well beyond the last date of our spring semester. We've decided to extend the dates to allow people to work beyond the end. And when we say people, we're talking about faculty, and if it is appropriate, also for students. So please be aware, the start date and the end date is very critical for access. Next item, the navigation links. The navigation links are the items that you see along the left side. This is the course-based menu. First of all, anything that you as a faculty member need to get to, you always have access to it, regardless of whether it is grayed out or it's easily readable, such as syllabus here, people, grades, discussions. The grayed out ones are saying to you, a student cannot access these. They are not available. For example, where I am right now, Pages is not available because I haven't created any pages in this class. Files, it's not available because I have not entered any files yet within this course. However, you want to be aware that you need to clean off or remove any of the options on this menu that you're not going to use. If I go back and return to the home page, here's the listing that I have right now that you see, the dark ones. I may not use conferences. I may not use collaborations. If I have items on this list that I wish to remove, that they don't serve any purpose within the class, again, I go to Settings. I choose the tab at the top that says Sections, Navigation, Apps, Feature Options. These are all available for me to make various choices. Here we're looking at navigation. Here's the list. Any of these that I want to make unavailable, I simply click the three dots and choose the option to disable. If I wish to remove discussions, I click discussions, choose the option to disable. What happens is they are moved to another list at the bottom. These are the ones that are not available or are hidden from the students. You can always return one of the items. For example, let's say I wanted to use McGraw-Hill. I can click here, choose Enable. It is then returned to the top, back in the list of the items that are accessible. Please be aware when you make any changes in this environment, click the Save. Click the Save option at the bottom for it to be updated. Again, please be aware you have the various menu options and they are addressed on the Navigation tab. They are dealt with that. Now, one of the items here that is available that you need to be aware of is the world of files. Files provides direct access to all the course files. This is very different than what it was within Blackboard. If I'm a student in your class and I have the option to click on Files, I can now see any files that you have in the course, unless you have individually hidden those files. So please be aware the scope of the capability of this option to click on files allows a student. Let's go to an example of a class. Let's say I pick this course right here, and it's available, and I don't have files displayed, but if it was displayed, a student could click and see all of these resources. The green here to the right means yes, they're available to be accessed by a student. There could be tests that you do not want to make available, other resources that you want to control by time release or just not have them available at all. So please be aware the files option has significant impact on how students can see or have the ability to access within that. Notifications is something that we have learned about this semester that come into play. You access notifications by clicking on Account on the extreme left menu. Come down and click on Notifications. There are many options for notifications. You have the ability to be notified right away. That's the check mark. A daily summary. That's the clock. A weekly summary, the calendar, and the X meaning I don't want to know anything about it at all. There are two that I want to talk about specifically. One is the world of conversations, basically the email. If a student creates a conversation or an email message within Canvas, you need to be aware of it. You can always go into Canvas and see it, but if you wish to be notified within your Gmail account, you need to choose the option of the green X to be notified immediately. What will happen here, if a student sends you an email from within Canvas, you will get an immediate email in your Gmail environment. The other one that I would make an observation that should be considered is the one about if a student submits something and then adds a comment. I'm putting my mouse right here and you see it's referencing a submission comment or an assignment submission comment. What I'm saying here is if a student simply turns in an assignment or any kind of submission with no comment, you don't know about it until you go into Canvas unless you've chosen another option here. But if they want to leave you a message, some type of update, some kind of here's a reason why such and such has happened, then I think it's appropriate that that be notified to you in real time so that you could understand that this is an exception. It's an atypical event. There are many other choices here. Some of them, some people might say are not appropriate at all. Some of them may never apply. But again, please be aware, I strongly encourage you to choose the option for conversations and strongly encourage you to consider using the option where if a comment is added to a submission that you take that. Now, the world of publishing again comes into play. Let's take a look at a class. Let's take a specific class again that's a functioning class right now. You publish the course as a whole. That makes it available. Now within each area within the course, you can control access by publishing or not publishing a resource. If you notice here, I have a module called Final Project. Everything is green. The green means it's available for student access. So if, for example, I wish to hide something and not make it available temporarily for an indefinite length of time, whatever it might be, I can click right here and I can change it to where it is not available by simply clicking that. Here's the thing that we learned that is confusing. If I click the option for the module to not be available, which you see right here, it is not green, it has this line through the circle. It has priority or seniority. None of this, you look at the 4 items that are here, none of those 4 items are now available to the students. Even though they are individually published, I can shut down or prevent access to a full module by clicking here on the module name. I click it to make it green. Now it's available. It's fully accessible. But please be aware the various items can be green, but if the module is not, then you have an issue of accessibility by students. They can't get to it. Again, go back and do your student view and always double check to make sure that you can see the world of what you want them to have access to. Next item, this is just a suggestion or an encouragement. In your files world, if you would consider organizing your files in a folder type environment. Here you see to the left some examples of folders that have been created for this demonstration. Here are the various individual files that are located within a specific folder. Just a suggestion to be able to find the resources that you need to have access to. I would strongly encourage you to create some level of structure to make things easier to access. Next item. What I would encourage you to be aware of are things that have come over from Blackboard. We have created from Blackboard various course resources that you could utilize to bring within Canvas. In some cases in this area right here, there are things that were brought over from Blackboard that cause duplication. You have a lot of repetition. I would strongly encourage you at some point in time, maybe this here as we change semesters would be a good time, to consider cleaning up your courses. You may have examples of Test 1, Test 1A, Test 1B, Test 1C, whatever it might be, that you have a lot of resources that you really don't need anymore. And I would suggest that you clean those up as you have opportunity. Next item. They have within the world of settings some resources that are somewhat hidden. I wish they were a little easier to get to. If you go to settings, again, course details tab is chosen. If you scroll to the bottom, there is an option down here in small text that says more options. If you click that, it brings up some choices. For example, if your class incorporates discussions, do you want to let students attach files to a discussion? Do you want to let students create a topic themselves? Do you want students to edit or delete their own discussions? Now, deleting, for example, can have a significant impact on discussions if a student responds to somebody else's comment, but that first student then deletes their initial post, then you have some issues of continuity there. So I would encourage you to look at these various options. Some relate to discussions. Several of them relate to the grades that are located in the grade book. Do I want students to see totals, distributions, things of that choice? Again, this is in the area of more options at the bottom of the first tab in the world of settings, specifically course details. Course details, scroll to the bottom, click more options, make whatever changes you wish. And also, whenever you're dealing with the settings environment, you always want to do the update. You always want to do your update. These are the major things that we have learned going through this semester relating to unique items, things that are significantly different from Blackboard, things that we have learned from supporting it out of the Center for Teaching and Learning, that there have been a significant number of questions. If we may help you, please contact us in the Center for Teaching and Learning. Our email is ctl@lipscomb.edu. You can call us at 615-966-5703, or the other extension is 6020. Again, if we may help you, please contact us as you have opportunity.